If you clicked on this video expecting shocking celebrity transformations, you're in the right place. But here's the twist. Some of these changes weren't caused by vanity or fame at all. Behind the viral before and after photos are stories of pressure, heartbreak, illness, survival, and reinvention. Some of these famous faces changed so much that fans barely recognize them today. And the real reasons behind those changes might surprise you far more than the transformations themselves. In a world obsessed with perfection, more celebrities than ever are stepping into doctors' offices saying the same two words: fix this. Social media, red carpets, paparazzi photos, and endless comparisons have created an environment where appearance feels like currency. But behind the glow-ups, shocking transformations, and viral before and after pictures lie deeper stories. Stories of insecurity, trauma, illness, public scrutiny, and sometimes regret. From dramatic plastic surgery to personal struggles and health battles, these stars look almost unrecognizable today. But what really happened to them? Let's start with Mary-Kate Olsen. Once upon a time, Mary-Kate Olsen wasn't just famous, she was everywhere. Before she could even speak clearly, she was already appearing on television screens around the world as Michelle Tanner on Full House. Alongside her twin sister Ashley, she grew up in front of millions of viewers. While most kids were learning their multiplication tables and riding bikes after school, Mary-Kate and Ashley were building an empire. Movies, TV shows, clothing lines, toys, books, and merchandise turned them into one of the most recognizable child star brands in history. But fame that early doesn't come without consequences. As the years passed, the cheerful sitcom image that America adored slowly shifted into something more complicated. Tabloids began focusing on Mary-Kate's shrinking frame. Rumors about eating disorders flooded gossip magazines. Paparazzi followed her constantly, capturing every late-night outing and turning it into front-page speculation. The same public that had once adored the smiling child star now dissected every detail of her life. Then, tragedy entered the story. In 2008, Mary-Kate was linked to actor Heath Ledger shortly before his sudden death, which pulled her even deeper into a media frenzy she never asked to be part of. The pressure only intensified. Instead of fighting harder to remain in the spotlight, Mary-Kate made a surprising decision. She stepped away from Hollywood almost entirely. Rather than chasing acting roles or attention, she reinvented herself as a fashion designer. Together with Ashley, she co-founded The Row, a luxury fashion label that earned respect in elite fashion circles. The transformation wasn't dramatic surgery or a public breakdown, it was something quieter and more powerful. Mary-Kate chose privacy over fame. The girl who once belonged to millions of viewers reclaimed ownership of her own life. And that might be the most remarkable transformation of all. Then there's Josh Peck. Josh Peck didn't just grow up on television, he grew up under a label that no child should have to carry. As one half of the hit Nickelodeon series Drake and Josh, he was known as the loud, lovable, funny fat kid. Week after week, audiences laughed at his jokes, his clumsiness, and his exaggerated personality. What most viewers didn't see was the battle happening behind the scenes. From a young age, Josh struggled with his weight and his self-image. Food became a comfort during stressful moments, and fame added another layer of pressure. At the same time, he was quietly battling addiction. Behind the bright lights of television sets and the applause of live audiences, Josh turned to drugs and alcohol in an attempt to cope with emotions he didn't fully understand yet. Then, something changed. In 2008, Josh made a decision that would transform his life. He committed to sobriety. He changed his diet, began working out with a trainer, and focused on rebuilding his health both physically and mentally. The weight began to fall off rapidly, and the internet exploded with reactions. Before and after photos went viral. Memes spread everywhere celebrating his glow-up. But the truth was more complicated than a simple weight loss story. Josh later admitted that those viral comparisons sometimes hurt. Being constantly reminded of his past body felt like being frozen in a version of himself he had worked so hard to leave behind. For him, the real victory wasn't the weight loss, it was sobriety, discipline, and learning to accept himself. Today, Josh Peck is healthier, confident, and thriving in his career. But his transformation isn't really about appearance. It's about reclaiming control of his life and proving that the most important changes often happen where cameras can't see. Jennifer Grey's story takes a different turn. When she starred in Dirty Dancing, Jennifer Grey had something Hollywood rarely allows, a face that was completely unique. Her curly hair, shy smile, and distinctive nose made her instantly recognizable. In an industry filled with polished perfection, she stood out in a way audiences loved. Her look became part of her identity. Then she made what seemed like a small decision. At the height of her fame, Jennifer chose to get a nose job. It wasn't meant to be a dramatic transformation, just a slight refinement. But the first surgery changed her appearance more than expected. And a second procedure meant to correct a small issue altered her face even further. When the bandages came off, Jennifer didn't just see a new nose, she saw a stranger looking back at her. And so did everyone else. Casting directors struggled to recognize her, fans walked past her without realizing who she was. Paparazzi who once chased her suddenly ignored her completely. The same public that had once adored the smiling child star now dissected every detail of her life. Jennifer later described the experience in haunting terms. She went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous. Her career momentum faded almost overnight. The industry that once celebrated her uniqueness moved on. Over time, Jennifer gained perspective on the experience. The surgery forced her to confront difficult questions about identity, beauty, and self-worth. Her transformation became a cautionary tale about how fragile fame can be and how dangerous it can be to believe that changing your face will automatically change your life. Lil' Kim's transformation is another story entirely. When she exploded onto the rap scene in the 1990s, Lil' Kim didn't just join hip-hop, she redefined it. Bold fashion, fearless lyrics, and unapologetic confidence made her a powerful force in the music industry. She challenged stereotypes about female rappers and created a new lane that many artists would follow later. But over the years, fans began noticing dramatic changes in her appearance. Her skin tone appeared lighter, her facial features looked altered. Each public appearance sparked new speculation about plastic surgery. The truth was rooted in something far more painful. Lil' Kim has spoken openly about surviving an abusive relationship that left her with a broken nose. The first surgery she underwent was simply to repair that damage. But in an industry obsessed with perfection, one procedure slowly turned into another. Over time, the changes became more dramatic. Yet despite all the headlines, her influence on music and culture never faded. Her transformation wasn't just about cosmetic surgery, it was about navigating fame, trauma, and constant public scrutiny. Amanda Bynes' story experienced a different kind of transformation. As a teenager, she was one of the brightest stars on television. From All That to The Amanda Show, she was known for her quick wit, comedic timing, and natural charisma. By her late teens, she successfully crossed over into film with popular comedies like She's the Man and Hairspray. Everything seemed to be going perfectly. Then, things began to unravel. In her early 20s, Amanda suddenly announced that she was retiring from acting. Soon afterwards, her behavior became increasingly erratic. Strange tweets, public incidents, legal trouble, and shocking headlines replaced the cheerful image fans remembered. The once beloved teen star became a tabloid obsession almost overnight.
Behind the chaos was a serious struggle with mental health. Amanda later revealed that she had been battling bipolar disorder and severe depression. Growing up under constant public attention had taken a heavy toll on her identity and well-being. Her appearance also changed dramatically during that time. New hairstyles, piercings, and even a small heart tattoo on her face. Every change fueled speculation and criticism online. Instead of compassion, the internet often responded with ridicule. But Amanda eventually began rebuilding her life quietly through therapy, treatment, and education. Her transformation today is less about appearance and more about recovery. Haley Joel Osment's transformation is another reminder of how quickly time changes everything. As a child actor, he delivered one of the most memorable performances in movie history when he whispered the haunting line, "I see dead people," in The Sixth Sense. His talent earned critical acclaim and award nominations before he was even a teenager. But growing up in the shadow of such a legendary performance can be complicated. As he aged, the industry didn't quite know how to place him. The wide-eyed child audiences remembered was now an adult actor trying to redefine himself. A car accident in 2006 added further challenges, bringing legal trouble and negative headlines. But instead of disappearing, Haley gradually rebuilt his career with smaller roles in independent films and television. He changed his look, embraced character roles, and slowly stepped out of the shadow of his childhood fame. Khloe Kardashian's transformation became one of the most discussed in modern celebrity culture. From the earliest days of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, she was constantly compared to her sisters. Online critics labeled her the different one, taller, bigger, less glamorous. The constant commentary about her appearance created years of insecurity. Over time, fans watched her undergo a dramatic transformation through intense fitness routines, weight loss, and cosmetic procedures. Khloe openly admitted to getting a nose job and using certain cosmetic treatments, but she also explained that much of her motivation came from years of relentless criticism. The gym became her therapy after personal heartbreak, including her highly publicized divorce from Lamar Odom. Working out wasn't just about appearance. It became a way to regain control over her life. Ashley Olsen's transformation was quieter but equally fascinating. Like her twin sister Mary-Kate, she grew up famous from infancy. The two built a billion-dollar brand while still children. But Ashley eventually stepped away from acting and chose a more private path. She focused on building The Row into a respected luxury fashion label, avoiding the spotlight and rarely giving interviews. Over time, her appearance changed naturally, and speculation about plastic surgery circulated, but Ashley largely ignored the rumors. Her transformation was less about altering her image and more about reclaiming independence after growing up under constant public scrutiny. Mickey Rourke's story might be one of the most dramatic physical transformations in Hollywood history. In the 1980s, he was considered one of the most charismatic actors of his generation. With his rugged looks and magnetic screen presence, he became a symbol of rebellious masculinity. But at the peak of his career, he made a shocking decision. He left Hollywood to pursue professional boxing. Years in the ring left him with severe injuries, including broken bones and facial trauma. Multiple reconstructive surgeries followed, but the results drastically changed his appearance. When he eventually returned to acting, the public barely recognized him. Yet, despite the criticism, he delivered one of the greatest comebacks in film history with his powerful performance in The Wrestler. Brendan Fraser's transformation shocked fans for a completely different reason. Once known as the charming action star of films like The Mummy and George of the Jungle, he seemed to disappear from Hollywood for years. When he reappeared looking older and heavier, people wondered what had happened. The reality was heartbreaking. Years of performing dangerous stunts had left his body severely injured, leading to multiple surgeries on his back, knees, and vocal cords. At the same time, he endured a painful divorce and later revealed that he had experienced sexual assault by a powerful Hollywood figure. His weight gain wasn't laziness, it was recovery, depression, and survival. When he returned with his powerful performance in The Whale, audiences witnessed one of the most emotional comebacks in recent memory. And the list of transformations continues. Actors like Henry Thomas growing up after childhood fame, Heidi Montag's extreme cosmetic procedures, Vin Diesel reminding everyone that even action stars age, rock legends like Axl Rose facing time's inevitable changes, and Matthew Lewis shocking fans with an unbelievable glow-up after the Harry Potter series. Even icons like Mr. T experienced life-changing moments, including a battle with cancer that reshaped his perspective on fame and image. Looking at all these stories together raises an uncomfortable question. Did these celebrities really change because they wanted to, or because the world demanded it? Behind every viral transformation photo is a human being navigating fame, expectations, criticism, and time itself. And sometimes the most powerful change isn't how a person looks, it's how they survive.